What is up, guys? It's me, Joe, and today is Wednesday, which means it is a Book Wednesday, the day in the week where I talk to you guys about books. And by the topic of this video, I am talking about audiobooks versus books. I could do this physically with something in my hands, but I'm too lazy. This topic was huge on the booktube circuit on YouTube for a long time, but I never really had any input or say because when it was big on the booktube circuit, I didn't actually have any reason to have an input because at the time I wasn't audioing books at all. I was physically reading books, but I didn't really have an opinion on the matter, and I personally really didn't care. Until recently I had a discussion with someone else regarding the topic. Now, the person I was talking to on it wasn't someone that was against it or for it, they just didn't have an opinion like I did. So I sat down with him and said to him, hey, do you know what? Have you ever audiobooked a book? Which they replied, said no. And I was like that too. And then I realised that one day I would try audible.com and I really enjoyed it. I actually quite liked the fact that I was able to sit down and listen to the story that's being told, to get the correct pronunciations of certain words, and to have an idea of how maybe the character would sound like, especially since the book I was reading was based in America and I can't do American accents. But the whole point behind audiobooking a book isn't because you're lazy. I mean, there could be a totally different reasons why. For one thing, some people enjoy listening to a story being told to them rather than actually trying to read a story. And if a person is super busy and has a late day, early start, reading a book can be quite difficult, so listening to an audio version of that book can be more enjoyable, and plus it's also 10 times handier. I talked about audible.com and I'm not sponsored by them, but if they want to sponsor me, totally okay with that. I found when I started audiobooking books was when I was working 2 hours away from home, where I had to get in my car at 5 o'clock in the morning and get in 2 hours in my car at 5 o'clock in the evening and drive. And it was horrible. I was getting up really early, I was really tired, and listening to an audiobook saved me at times. So when I was able to plug my phone into my car, I was able to plug my AUX cable or aux cable, I don't know how people pronounce that, into my stereo, and I was able to listen to the story that I wanted to listen to, and it was enjoyable. And I noticed how convenient it was. So then audiobooks become a huge part of my routine. I still physically read a book, but I find myself that I actually will audiobook a book while I'm reading it. And I also find this really, really good in a sense that I get to learn how words are pronounced, as well as how characters may sound if they're in their environment that they're in. For argument's sake, I was reading a certain book where I was listening to a character that was supposed to be from the UK. The narrator put a UK accent onto that character. I also listened to the same narrator talk in American accent coming to a different location. I think it was like New York. It sounded like a New York accent, but I'm not 100% sure. But that character was supposed to be from that New York, Brooklyn area. I'm not 100% sure, can't remember. And it just made me visualize that character a little bit better. I could see the character, I could dress the character in or describe that character as, but I also could hear how the character sounded, and it just wasn't some weird accent in my head. With saying that, I still do enjoy reading a physical book, even though I do also enjoy listening to an audiobook quite a lot. But in saying that, I find audiobooks that a little bit handier when I'm just not in the mood to physically pick up a book, read it, try to interpret everything that's been said in the book, and then have it spouting out my ears and not remember what it's been about the day before, and so on and so forth. As though I've talked about Audible and I'm not sponsored by them, I really do wish they would sponsor me because I love Audible so much, is that you get one free credit when you sign up originally, and then if you want to sign up for the monthly subscription, I think beginning off you get like $7.99 or something for the first 3 months, and after that then it's €15 a month. And with that you get a credit every month, but your credit isn't necessarily restricted to a certain book. You can pick any book you want, download it and listen to it. It's going to cost you your €15 or whatever, but you're not restricted to a book. Whereas if you don't sign up to the site, you have to pay maybe €20-30 for an Audible book, which is crazy. Another great thing about Audible is actually that it's owned by Amazon. It's not actually a standalone website. So if you buy a Kindle book, sometimes Amazon will say to you, you can buy the Audible version of this book for maybe €4 or €5. I'm not sure. I know some of the books I've gotten through Amazon that have offered audio books along of that book, they've only been maybe €2 or €3, and it's great. And personally, I think audiobooks are great for really big books like this one, where you know you are going to either struggle with it or you're going to find something that's going to distract you from reading it. But if you audiobook it, you can literally just sit down. Most books are roughly between 8 to 10 hours long. Some books like Game of Thrones are like 40 hours or something like that, but it's crazy. But the great thing also with the Audible app is it doesn't store it directly on your phone, it stores it in a cloud, so it doesn't clutter up your phone or your tablet. So it's something that people should consider. But anyway, I'm rambling on about Audible now, but in conclusion to this video, I would say, is audioing a book same as reading? And yeah, it is. You're just having someone read you the book. You're getting the same value from listening to the audiobook as you are from reading the book. And if you have difficulties, whether you're dyslexic or in fact if you're someone who is visually impaired and you can't actually manage to read a book, audioing a book doesn't make you any less of a reader than someone who doesn't. And if you want to listen to an audiobook, go for it. If you want to read a book, definitely go for it. If you want to sit down and read a graphic novel and you feel that it's stupid to read a graphic novel, read a graphic novel. There's nothing wrong with reading graphic novels. Graphic novels are great fun and they're quick reads. And do you know what? It's enjoyable. If you enjoy it, do it. Anyway, on that note, everyone, I'm going to see you all maybe on Friday. I have no idea where that video was even going, but it was fun to make. Sorry, it was fun to make.